noon. So we can begin our Monday work session, March 6th, 2023. So announce that this meeting will be recorded. I don't see anybody who is interested in publicly commenting. Okay, and then we're going to move on to opening bid for the Reconstruction Center in Clarendon Borough. We've got two of them. So the first is from Ace Engineering. They are Cable Hollow Road, Russell, PA. And their services are for $14,696. Their proposal. Multiple copies of their proposal, which includes something that looks like a CD.
Is this just for the engineering?
Yes. All right, and then E&M out of Derrick Road, Bradford, PA, also prepared a proposal, and their cost is $17,500, and they are promising completion within 90 days of signed contract. And that lists all of the items that they're committed to doing. So that's the second one. Well, it's nice to have two.
Yeah,
We'll evaluate those then.
thank you.
Make sure that they meet all of the criteria associated with the proposal. Recommendation for.
No, I reviewed these and rebound with all of you, or really from the full screen.
It's probably your recommendation.
Okay, yeah. That's what the notes from previous years stated, but I just wanted to be sure.
Sorry, I'm not going to use
Do you want me to take it off? You're the commissioner, I'm doing what I'm told.
Then you should do what you want.
Okay, and so the next one is to move accounts for prothonotary.
Can I speak about that?
Yes, would you please speak to that, Lisa?
Yes, the Prothonotary office has two accounts that they're really being overburdened with fees right now. And so we would like to add this to the commissioners' meeting on Wednesday, so that it's in the minutes that you're okay with us moving it to another bank, because we'll need it in the minutes to provide to the bank.
Okay. I'm assuming that it would be a bank that we already have a relationship with?
Correct.
Okay.
We're looking for, because these are escrow accounts where the money goes in and goes out, we're looking at no fee, no
Right.
interest accounts.
Okay. So we need to add that to our agenda for the commissioners' meeting on Wednesday.
Yes, please.
Okay. All right, we don't have anything under old items. Nothing I see under policies and procedures. Project updates?
I wanted to let you know that as part of the COVID grants that we've received at the WCDA over the past year, a portion of the grants were to be allocated to planning for human services as a for mental health response to the effects of COVID. And Alan McNeil, the director of Forest Warren Human Services, and myself have been meeting with multiple consultants over the past week in order to solicit information, put out an RFP so that they can come to Forest County and Warren County and do a strategic planning initiative that would involve doing a deep dive evaluation of the system and, you know, working with the administration and the various providers in order to craft plans that would improve the quality of service and create essentially like a 5-year plan for the county. My intention is, and I'm letting you know this, my intention is to put an RFP together and have that out in the next 2 weeks, and then see what we get back, and then you know, working with Adam and, you know, the administration, they would select who they want to work with, just because they're the ones that are kind of live with the whatever they come up with. And then we would go through like a 3 to 4 month strategic planning process with an organization. I wanted to let you know because this is something that's paid for by a grant. It's not something that the county has to put any money into, at least right now. So,
WCBA project.
Yep.
Okay.
But so I'll probably be forwarding you the RFP for you to look at, like as far as, you know, and Forest County Commissioners too, because I think they want to get in touch with them as well, and just for your evaluation and input.
Well, that sounds good.
Yeah, we haven't done anything like this in my memory, like as far as, I mean, we've done planning projects and stuff, but not anything that would be this, you know, this big for human services. Lisa has been good enough to initiate these weekly meetings with human services, and so as part of that, they were pulling out the Human Services Summit report and kind of going through that to take pieces out of that to implement. And, you know, so part of that conversation is just taking that and kind of coming up with executable plans through this process. So we feel really good about the consultants that we've met with. Several of them have worked with, you know, Dauphin County, Adams County, Berks, and have done very good projects with them that have tied in with, you know, mapping the system, having streamlined service delivery, that kind of stuff.
Cool. Sounds good. Well, it's timely, given, you know, Adam's new role there, so that'll be something that always can get looked at in a different way, and there's new people on the front and look for improvement.
Yep.
Good. Anything else in the projects? Of course, we have the RFP responses for broadband. I think we had one more call scheduled, I believe, for CTC, right? We don't have one of those yet. I know we talked about that.
I think we talked about it, but you're waiting on the information from them first.
Yep.
Which we've not.
Yep.
Yeah, I guess secondarily, we're going through the period of congressionally directed spending requests.
Right.
And Thompson's, Casey's, Fetterman's offices are all soliciting projects. And so I've already had conversations with Jim Decker because he's taking a look at the riverfront, the council's taking a look at the riverfront, so that'll probably be at least one project that will be we'll be putting in, you know, working on a grant application. My assumption, or my view of it at this time is that we'll kind of take what we did last year and then try to augment it, because obviously we weren't successful in that process. But I think that there's other things that we've discussed or put together over the past year that we can kind of bake into that to get an even better application for them, because I think they were, the impression that I got was everybody was kind of like, okay, what else do you have? Like, you know.
Oh, really?
And because.
This is Casey's office you're talking about.
Well, kind of all of them.
Okay.
We've already
Okay.
sent, I think that the idea is to, I don't want to say get away from the boat launch driveway model, but to incorporate other things into the request that are going to be attractive for granting, like rather than just, you know, infrastructure, because it's hard for them like the infrastructure, when it's just core infrastructure, it's really hard for them to get money for it because everybody says, well, you're a municipality or you're whatever, like you should
This is
be
part
able
of
to
what you
fund
should
it.
do.
Yeah, exactly.
It's part of your,
So unless you have like a clear economic development element, that doesn't really fly very well. So the goal is going to be to kind of talk, figure out ways to incorporate the other cultural elements into the project that would make it more of a, I don't want to say a recreation project, but like, give it some more color, like to make it attractive.
we have any tips and tricks associated with some of that?
Yeah. Tim will, reach into the hat, and hopefully pull out a rabbit, and it'll work out great. So, but I think that there are other things too, because in the conversations that we had with Casey's office, I mean, there are infrastructure opportunities, like when they're, especially on the bridge side. So I think that all of those will kind of try to cram into that window and see what we get out of it. So.
Do we have any, are there timelines associated with that?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I mean,
so-
mid-March, we got it's like yesterday.
It's March 16th.
March 16th, that was my question, okay.
Yeah.
The only other thing that I think might be relatively ready was the Forest Service on the road that goes to Jake's Rocks.
Yeah, yep.
Might be another-
I'm sure, I have to follow
Jim would
up with
be
Jim
on that.
anyway, but he probably the one that would be trying to do that, so.
Was there anything that Jeremy Snell is engaged in as far as some of his initiatives or ideas that would be eligible for
I think that the challenge there is that there's a monochrome of planning that needs to happen in the short
Gotcha.
term, and I think that if that happens, then absolutely, because like even talking with the folks at the jail, we're in this state where transitional housing is really I don't want to say jeopardy, but it's in a difficult state where, all it's going to take is a couple of organizations to kind of change, collapse, or leave, or do something different, and the transition out of the jail is going to be really difficult. So, so that even plays into the, opioid funding and all the other stuff.
Right.
So.
I was reading about that this morning, all the FAQs, but you're still brainstorming, I guess. with-
Well, I think the challenge is that, the decision has to be made to either kind of invest in development of the jail or go in a completely different direction, and because there's nowhere to move in the jail.
Right.
Like, so we either have to put something on it that would be a treatment space, or we transition into, hypothetically taking a look at the organizations that we have in place and like subsidizing or figuring out a way to manipulate what they're doing, because we don't have the opioid money isn't enough to like really do something extravagant.
Like a halfway
Yeah,
house, or anything
so-
that's its own infrastructure that's gonna have operating
Yeah,
costs.
so I think that's still something that we're ironing out, because everybody kind of feels right now that the jail is the place to be or to invest in, but on the flip side of it, everybody's kind of having a hard time kind of wrapping their brain around, okay, well, how does that work? So,
Gotcha.
Yep.
Sounds good. Commissioner meeting, March 8th, the agenda's there. It's like new business, multiple proclamations here. New businesses, so some children and youth contracts, the tax appeal settlement offer. Who was that for? Was that your own?
Yeah.
That's what I thought, yeah. And then architect contract for phase 2 of the courthouse rehab project.
And then we'll add on the accounts for Prothon.
We can get it circulated today, and I had a SOP related to employee hiring and confidentiality
Sounds good.
Sam did all the work, I just haven't actually reviewed it yet.
Ah.
Despite meeting at 8:30 in the morning and saying that I would.
I don't think we have any department committee updates, and Lisa gave hers isn't related to the fiscal department and proprietary. Any general discussions? And is there a need for executive session?